I'm getting through. It's been an adventure lately. It was. The evening was great. We got to go with some friends, did the neighborhood, hung out with the grown-ups while the kids trick-or-treated. So we had a blast. It was hard not being at school yesterday with the kiddos since I was going to the doctor for an eye infection. But I am in recovery and hence wearing my lovely glasses and just rocking that out today instead. It's just never dull. Oh no. We got to start over.
Thank you, Season of the Sea Witch, for playing the role of Megamom today. She helped with tech support, so thank you for that. Um, excuse me, John. Give her a high five when you see her next. Which may be 10 minutes from now. Who really knows? So
He's literally above me.
okay, great. So everyone, let me just start over real quickly. Welcome to episode 291 of the Engaged Family Gaming Podcast. My name is Steven. You just heard Linda's introduction. I didn't say anything meaningful beforehand other than the episode thing. To my bottom right, is it right? I don't even know. The other person on the bottom of this square thing is Amanda Farrow, the Princess of Power. Amanda, how are you?
I always love podcast day.
Can I
Yeah.
say,
It's my favorite.
Can I say you posted a picture yesterday of your Halloween costume, and I had to catch my breath.
Oh,
It was an awesome costume, obviously fit the character. And then for a second I was like, "Is that a wig?"
it was a
And I
wig,
like,
yeah.
Of course it's a wig, but it works.
Because this is what my real hair looks like.
Listen. If there is a human being on Earth that would commit to the costume, you are on the short list for that human being. And so I don't know.
That's
And
very
then,
true.
But it was absolutely amazing. You were from Star Trek: Brave New World.
Strange New
I can't remember
Worlds,
the
yeah.
character's character, Brave New World, and so.
So
awesome.
Commander Unachin Riley
Thank you.
and Mikey went as Captain Christopher Pike. And
Thank
he
you.
actually committed way harder than I did. He grew out his hair. He got silver
Wow.
put into his hair.
That's
He looked
commitment.
so good. Got his face
He looked
shaved.
on point. Like,
Yo,
yeah.
he also-
both of you.
He was gorge.
amazing.
He also spent the last handful of months getting ridiculously cut. I think he's going for
Yeah.
Wolverine next. Is what he's trying to go for. He really.
Yeah, that's next year.
That's a big
I ain't
commitment to go
mad
for
about that. I ain't mad about
No.
that.
I know. Yeah, exactly. This is not the complaining segment. So, I'm super happy that you're here. Podcast day is my favorite day too. And to my right or left, I don't know. Directions are made up. Is my good buddy John Tomlinson, the man behind the curtain. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent, and we should all wish a very happy birthday to Season of the Sea Witch, who had her birthday yesterday.
We should wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Speaking of birthdays,
And there's
it's
one
my
more.
birthday.
And there's one more
Yes.
birthday. It's
Literally.
Steve's
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Literally,
Happy
thank you very
birthday,
much.
Bestie.
Season of the Sea Witch, happy Halloween birthday. Very cool. But yes, today is my birthday. I am old as hell. But I'm hosting a video game podcast, so what I like to think is that kind of averages it down. You know what I mean? So physically, I may be old, but I'm hosting a video game podcast, and when I'm done, I'm gonna go play World of Warcraft. So it kind of all averages. And I spent the whole weekend before this playing Make Believe in the Woods. So I average it down significantly. So thank you very much for it. The well wishes. Most importantly, happy birthday to Season of the Sea Witch. I'm gonna throw that out to one of our new super fans, and thank you for throwing my name out there, Megamom, the OG super fan. So this week is a fun week. We've got some news, some interesting releases to come up. We've got one for the grown-ups, that is probably one of the biggest ones for the grown-ups for the foreseeable future. And I'm going to talk about what it's like to LARP with teenagers. Yeah, it's gonna be this is gonna be a wild show. Why don't we just get started with our games of the week? And
Sounds good.
I know you guys have played some stuff, and I'm encouraging you to go in, but I actually have a review to do, which is I need to provide some feedback based on a game that was given to me by the developers, and this is a game called A Winding Path. I'm gonna go ahead and put they gave it to me on the Switch. Full disclosure, they did provide me a code gratis for coverage purposes. I went ahead and put that in the chat. It's called A Winding Path. And so this is a hand-drawn, side-scrolling, point-and-click adventure game. And it is really, really cool. Is it a Steve game? Like, is this a game that I would go out of my way and buy? No, probably not. I believe firmly that this is Amanda game, though. So, Amanda, you should keep your eye on this one. So, you're a stick figure, literally. And the idea is you move from left to right. When there's stuff you can interact with, it gives you a little exclamation point, and you hit a button. That's it. That's the level of interaction in this game. And the idea is you are solving puzzles. And a lot of that is you go into a building and there'll be a grandmother knitting and she'll need some water, and you'll go out and you'll get some water, and then you bring it back to her, and then she'll give you a thing that you can go somewhere else. This is very classic point and click adventure. The key here is that it is so relaxing. And the music is just super chill. And the animation, considering, and if you look at the link, it is all, hand-drawn kind of stick figure stuff. It is really pretty considering how minimalistic it is. And I think that's something that, in this world of we're looking at God of War coming out next week, and we're like, holy crap, look at these screenshots. Sometimes there's something really nice to be said about simple hand-drawn graphics. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you've seen some of this. I'm sure you clicked the link, Amanda. What do you think at first blush? Does this look like Amanda game, or am I crazy?
No, it looks like Amanda game. It really does. I'm all about the chill Zen games that allow me to just maybe turn my brain off for a little while, because anyone that knows me knows that I can't sit still. Something ADD. Something. I don't know what anyone could be talking about with regards to that, but here we are.
Look, a squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear it. What I think is the other thing that's really good about this one is it's only $6.
We love a good
sale
price
right now on the Switch, so it's like $5.50. But even the full price, $6. And for that price, this is a cool little afternoon. And that's really what it was to me. I played this on the beach. Admittedly,
I love that.
October.
Nice.
And this was absolutely perfect. And what I also liked about it is I played it in with the sound off.
Oh, nice.
So a part of
interesting.
it, I turned the sound off and I played it while I was just kind of chilling and talking to my family while they were playing cards. So it was very easy to throw the Switch in tabletop mode and just kind of chill and just go through it. It doesn't. It's not very mentally taxing. It's not if I need.
That's speaking my language.
If I needed,
it's a vibes game, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I could just put the controller down and just let it be. It's not timed. There's no. And so I actually strongly recommend this. Is this going to end up on the EFG Essentials list? Probably not. When we relaunch our under $10 game list. Yeah, it'll probably be under there because I think this is going to fill that need of a cool game that you could spend a couple hours with. And there sometimes you just need that. Hey, you're going to be a passenger for a long time. Here's a start, that kind of deal. So that is A Winding Path. Also, I really like the name. I think The Winding Path sounds great.
It's a good name.
It's rated E for everyone. The only content descriptor it gets is for an alcohol reference. And frankly, since everything's stick figures in black and white, you only know it's alcohol if you know it's alcohol. It's like a jug with like the XXX on it, you know, like that kind of thing. Like it's
Very
so
subtle.
not. You wouldn't. It's there because the ESRB
So they're not
has to do it.
explicitly handing out gin and tonics, is what we're saying.
No, there's no like you're not like swimming in a martini like in the new like Taylor Swift video or anything like that. There's none of that. Yes,
Oh,
I found a way
T-Swift.
to work. I found a way to work T Swift into my podcast.
I appreciate that.
Hashtag content. So I mean, listen, if you don't make Taylor Swift related content in the last week and a half, what are you even?
Yeah.
True.
So so anyway, anybody else play anything any cool? They want to talk about?
I dropped something in
I'm excited to hear it.
into.
It's not
Okay,
very
it's-
often that you have stuff that you can actually talk about, so I'm very excited about this.
I know it's true, especially because it is it's a busy season. A busy season for working and consulting in games.
Yeah.
So I went to the Caribbean, which was super cool.
Oh, how
I'd never been there
fun.
before. We went to a friend's wedding. I've never done a destination wedding ever either, so it was like a couple new things. So my husband James and I went.
I just want to interrupt you and say the picture you posted with your makeup super on point from your destination wedding.
I appreciate that. I had to work really hard to get those lashes on. I suck at putting lashes on. I'm so bad
I
at
didn't even
it.
try.
Mission
I'll be honest.
accomplished.
But like
Looks really hard.
I did yesterday for Halloween, and I did while I was in Aruba. So on the way to Aruba, and actually on the way back, and a little bit while we were there, but not a ton. I ended up playing this game called Potionomics, which was developed by Voracious Games and published by Xseed. The generous folks at Xseed gave me a code for it because I happen to know one of the folks working on their PR team. So I was like, I kind of had my eye on this game like a little bit. I was like, I love potion games. I love management simulators. Okay. Okay, well, if we put them together in like one game, what kind of game
That
is it
sounds
going to
good.
be? A game I've spent 20 plus hours playing over the last 5 days, 6 days.
Wow.
You don't have time
I
for
had
that.
some
Continue.
flight time is what I'm saying. I had some flight time.
I was about to say, you
So-
don't really have time. You don't typically have time for 20 hours over 5 days.
That's not normally a thing. It's
know.
rarely a thing. So, Potionomics, the general conceit of Potionomics is that it is a management simulator game. You inherited your potion shop from your uncle, who is unfortunately deceased. And the other unfortunate part is you also inherited his debt. So, his debt collector, who is a very like beautiful, polished witch with lavender hair, she shows up and is like, "So sorry, but you actually owe 1,000,000 gold pieces."
Oh my.
And then, the main character, Sylvia, like her jaw drops to the floor because she's like, "What? What do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to like put this binding spell on you real quick. So if you don't pay in increments when you do these potion tournaments, we're just gonna shut the place down and you're gonna be destitute. How does that sound?"
Oh my.
So the whole game itself is like you're going around, you're making friends so that you can build a deck because your deck is how you negotiate price. You go find your ingredients, you make friends, you build your deck, you negotiate prices on your brewed potions. You send people, and like it is a rich and complex game that I would say it takes like no time to really learn how to play, but I'd be lying. It takes it's got a steep learning curve. Because when you get to the competition, the initial competition is 7 days into the game. And if you don't do things just precisely, you don't have the right potions, you don't have the right rating for the potions, you don't have the right ingredients, you don't make good potions, like, you know what I mean? So if you get all the way to the competition and you fail, you got to go back a number of hours to redo a bunch of stuff. I was so upset. I lost the initial competition like 3 times. I had to go back 3 times and lose several hours every time. I was like, I'm going to get him this time. So I did. And I'm getting better at the game now because, I've been playing it for like 20 hours.
Wow.
And it gets more and more featureful. as you get into it, you can start gardening. You have custom orders.
I have a
Um,
question.
sure.
I'm watching the trailer in the background. Is the owl like your sidekick, or
The
is
owl
it?
is your sidekick. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm in. All my money.
Yep.
You have an owl familiar?
You have
Yes.
an owl familiar. You really do. And you got rivalries with other potion makers. And it's just, I love it. I love Potionomics. It's so good. It's so, so, so good. And it's got its hooks in me right now where it's like, we're not letting go. If you don't have a mock to do,
This is what you're doing.
this is what you're doing. Just in case you thought otherwise. And I was like, I had no time yesterday. 'Cause yesterday was Halloween, right? So I was like running kids to get them to places. It was just absolute calamity. So, but I sat down before dinner tonight. I was like, oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Give me that serotonin.
Give me
So-
that sweet hit of dopamine, folks. That's what I
Yep.
needed.
Hashtag
said-
dopamine.
She said it, Linda. Yep. Hashtag dopamine.
Hashtag.
So I put a link in the chat. This is currently available on Steam, but this looks like the kind of game that's gonna find its way onto the Nintendo Switch.
I've been playing it on Steam Deck for the most part.
yeah.
That's
Which
how
is
I was able to
basically-
play it so much.
Yeah.
So on my plane, there was actually like a place to plug in there's a little outlet right by my seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I didn't look up for 4.5 hours.
How was
Great.
your neck?
Ow. It hurt
Yeah.
a little. Yeah,
I
it
could
hurt a
see
little.
that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was bad. So anyway, Potionomics is great, but only get into it if you would like to surrender your entire existence, because that is what I have done. Sacrificed my entire existence to this game, and I have no regrets.
Sounds great. It's gonna have to wait until after November 28th for me. So maybe in the
That's fair.
because I've got some things coming up. Okay, so
You got some stuff.
Anybody else have stuff that's adding in there? Anybody play anything?
Yes.
interesting? What do you got,
I'm
Johnny?
currently hooked into Marvel Snap. I think we
That's
talked about
another
it a
good
while.
one.
It's hard. Like, I didn't really get into Hearthstone, but there's something about Snap because it's so quick. Even when you lose, like, you're 3 games away when I could have played one match of Hearthstone. Like, it's so fast, and like the fact that the only buy-in is cosmetics. Sure, that, like, I'll never get bored of
It's
something like
nice.
that. Yeah,
It's nice.
it's
Yeah,
really
It
cool.
hits really well. You like that when I'm not playing Potionomics, I'm playing Snap. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
problem.
I have it. It's right on my phone.
Oh
I have
heck.
it, but here's the
no.
problem. Here's the problem. I downloaded it, and I was like, I've got several long car rides to get to and from game, and I can play Marvel Snap during then. The problem is every time I contemplated this, every time without fail, I was like, oh man, do I want to? This is gonna own me for a while. And
Yeah.
so like I've
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I've kind
It's
of
another one where you have to sacrifice most of your existence.
Yeah, and so I kind of was like, you know what? Let me wait. I'll do it on the ride home, and then on the ride home, I was like, I'll do it when I get home, et cetera, et cetera. So it was like kind of, it was one of those things. But I've seen some bold statements. The Chris Plant from the Besties podcast said that he thinks Marvel Snap is the game of the year, which is like, listen, some people say some things.
It's
like-
really good though.
I don't disagree. Well, I have no reason to disagree or agree because I have yet to play it. Although I'm gonna at least sign into Google on it shortly after this. Mega Mom in the chat saying that Jevador has been loving Marvel Snap. I think it's right in his wheelhouse. It's something like quick and bite sized to play, and who doesn't love Marvel stuff?
That's for real.
Listen, nothing would make me happier than the like expected de facto winner not winning. Not because I dislike Elden Ring, but because I just like surprises, and I think that would be cool if like the random card.
Well,
game,
God of
like,
War's
took the
gonna
world.
win, but
No, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I'm not gonna fight over
I'll
it.
know in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we all know in 2 weeks. Just as long as we stay off YouTube and don't let
Yeah.
bad actors ruin it for us. So so that's Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is on PC, and it's also on all the mobile devices. And if it's very
Mobile is the
successful,
way.
yeah, this is definitely a mobile game. But I do suspect that if it's very successful, they can put it all over the place. It's just a stupid
Oh, yeah.
card game.
So the great thing about Marvel Snap is that it does have roots in Hearthstone, because a lot of the former designers and developers, including Ben Brody, who was like the guy, he was the Hearthstone guy. This is his game. This is his studio's
Yeah.
game. So it's very exciting, and it feels very good to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my only complaint was when I was like watching the coverage on like everything, like IGN and everything. It felt like an ad, and that's what pushed me off. And then finally, I was just like, you know what? I'll
Play
play
it.
And I'm like, oh, they're not lying. Like, it's a good game.
No, it's hot.
Yeah,
It's a hot game.
It's good.
it felt like an ad read, though.
That's good to know.
get it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal, though. It may have been.
Yeah.
It may have been. You never know, really know. Depending on what piece of content that you want, because they did have an aggressive paid marketing program across influencers and social and all that. So would not surprise me if they
had a
content.
straight up ad with Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they had the budget.
They paid the money.
But like they had an aggressive ad campaign, but also it's one of the biggest games of the fall because of how big it got, and how fast it got. So everyone had to do like a fast follow with a review, because it was like, whoa, this thing came out of nowhere. It was Marvel. They probably had it assigned to somebody on the team, and then it blew up so quickly, everyone had to go and get it done, which is why I was downloading it so I could get it. We're comfortably behind, and I'm okay with that. But so it very well could have been that what you were watching was an ad, like a paid, like sponsored segment that was to be followed immediately thereafter by their official review, because that's just how that crap works. Because you got to keep the lights on somehow. So, okay. Briefly, well, not even briefly, I want to tell you guys a story about bringing teenagers to a live-action role-play event in the cold of New Hampshire this past weekend.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this, because
You
you'll probably
literally
be doing that in
played
the
a
spring.
game. You literally played a game with your kids.
Yeah, for real. So, I've been playing Alliance LARP is the LARP that I play. It's like, there's no official tie between Engaged Family Gaming and that organization outside of the fact that I work here and I volunteer there as well. And I've been playing for 20 years at this point. Maybe 19, but probably
Just a
20.
very limited amount of time, truly.
I know. Yeah, it's. I know. I'm a newbie, but like,
Yeah.
Still, I'm going to share.
We'll
my
talk in
newbie
another
perspective.
20 years.
So so my team, the people that I play with, Linda being one of them, I made a bunch of friends and I dragged them all to game with me. Basically what happened.
Basically.
And I dragged my brother and my wife. And so, many of us just started having kids, and the team kind of dropped away, and, because of busy life, and we got older and stuff like that. And I was like the last one, right? I knew that I was going to have, and the whole time we were talking about how cool it would be when our kids were old enough to finally go. Because some of them have expressed interest, others have not. Maggie, for example, has said that she will never, ever set foot on a LARP event. She has no interest. She doesn't want to do that. She does roller derby, Dad. So fine, whatever. Fine. At least she's doing something physical. And I'll also talk as sheep when you're 9, right? When you're left behind when the rest of the family goes, and you're staying at Auntie's house, maybe you'll change your mind. But but now I have the oldest of the group. So I have a 16-year-old and I have a 14-year-old. Alliance New Hampshire put rules forth that you could have full participation at 14. And so my middle son turned 14 on Saturday. And so we were able to go, and Mega Mom in the chat saying the couples chapter became the parent chapter, and people bring their kids to game. That's absolutely true. It used to be that games were like, couples who were either dating or engaged or married or whatever all coming to play together. And that was big on the Northeast. And now, like, many of those same couples have kids that are getting ready to go. And so there were actually 4 teenagers there. And 2 of them were mine. One of them was Mega Mom's. And another one was a child of another kid, of another guy. It was a surreal experience on Friday night, going through the line and doing my logistics and getting all checked in and, stepping in. I had one kid there. Evan's been going for most of this year because he's been 16 since March. He was he's been able to play for a while. But we, so he's been playing all year, but there was just something about having both of them with me that was kind of fulfilling, really like a dream that I've been talking about since they were born, right? Like Linda remembers 100% times.
Oh yeah,
where,
this has been.
Yeah. This has
once
been
we
in
all
the
started
works.
having kids, this has absolutely been in the discussion about when the kids go.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason my teenager wasn't there is that we were out of state at a wedding. And that's
Yes.
the only reason that we didn't have another teenager there. And we're planning, if life aligns and allows us, we would like to bring him in the spring.
Well,
And that's the plan.
I mean, if John can't go because he's on injured reserve, that means you got to go. So I mean, it's just that's all that means, and that's fine. I need you.
Did you want a big healer? Is that what you're telling me?
No, because I was the big healer. But what I need, but I need you. I need you. Okay. And we got Season of the Sea Witch saying it sounds special and amazing. She's glad we had fun. Special is the right word. It really was like the fulfillment of a dream, wish, whatever you want to call it. 10 years in the making. More than that even. And, but I will say it's really interesting playing an activity. And this is the things that I learned. It's interesting participating in an activity that has always been an adults only space. When younger players / kids are invited into it. And I think that that's something that a lot of us are going to start seeing, that parents will start seeing as they get older and as their kids get older. Right? Because eventually you can't have the kids' table. It's insulting. Right? Like eventually they're too big to sit at the baby table. And so, we have that with like my oldest wanting to participate in Dungeons and Dragons games and, like stuff like that, where it's like, now it's, you can't just exclude, you have to include them somehow. And so one of the things that I felt like this past weekend is I felt like I was a camp counselor. Thank goodness I spent some time working at a summer camp back in the day. So, because that's really what it felt like that a little bit. Not in an insulting way. Not like they were because I'm sure at least one of them is listening through Mega Mom's phone. But the idea is not that they were a problem or that they were, extra work. But it really was, we got to make sure that everybody eats something. We got to make sure that everybody... you got to pay extra attention to the younger kids because, like if Thomason wants to run off into the woods like a jerk and break his leg, like that's kind of on him. He's a grown up, you know what I mean? But like, you gotta, or if Linda decides to like haul off on somebody,
I've never done that.
That's like on them. But like the kids. Was, it was an added layer of responsibility for, and it turned out all of the adults kind of shared that responsibility. We had that kind of, it takes a village to raise a kid kind of thing. Mega Mom in the chat saying, fortunately, her oldest is used to listening to Old Man Steve. So they listened. So listening to my character was not that different. We did have some chirping, by the way. And that's something that I had to control myself a little bit. Chirping, Linda, because that makes sense to Amanda because of hockey. Chirping is, that thing I do where I just bark at people. So I had to bark at one of the kids a couple of times because they were telling the phalanx what to do, and I was like, "Excuse me, who do you think you are, Linda?
This is not the way.
Like, who do you think you are, Linda? You can't do that." So anyway, it was. You know what? I will say. I posted some pictures on my Facebook, and I certainly will have more video. There was video of me coming out and beating the crap out of my kids with foam weapons, obviously.
Nice.
So we'll have some of those videos to share later. But I will say it was a really cool experience, and the thing that I think a lot of folks should think about: not everybody LARPs, although everybody in this call will have LARPed by the end of next year. That is my promise. That means you, Amanda. That means I'm dragging.
Oh,
you
I
with
know
me
who you were
at least a
calling
little
out here,
bit.
sweetie. I get it.
Because Tomlinson will be there. I'm gonna make him, and he's gonna bring Season of the Sea Witch too. And Linda's stuck. She's just trapped. She's gonna have to. She doesn't really have it. She doesn't have a choice. She's so upset.
I miss it.
She's so
miss it.
upset.
So
But
upset.
the Mega Mom eviscerated my oldest last month. It's true, she did. He earned it.
Well done.
So, not literally, everybody. Not literally. I just want to make sure. YouTube gets crazy. So, it is. But as our kids get older, just remember you got to bring them in. You got to bring them in, and you got to give them some independence. Let them have their fun. Because eventually the kids' table is insulting. That's the one. That's the thing that we learn. Got to kind of bring them in and figure it out. We'll show some pictures and some video. I'll probably be, maybe even making a video about it just for the channel, to talk about it. Might be partnering with another content creator, that kind of thing. So that is the LARPing story. I was really excited about that. I know not everybody that's
Sounds
all
awesome.
that concerned about it, but I was. Yeah, I'm super. It was exactly what I needed. If you could have seen, like, Saturday night, last thing I'll say about it, my middle son Jake, he came up to me and he was like, "Dad, you know how you said that you were worried that I wasn't gonna like it, and that maybe I would just want to sit and play on my phone or whatever?" He's like, "Nope, I love LARP. I want to do this. I don't want to miss any more games." And that
Wow.
was exactly what I wanted to hear. Because I mean, listen, it was cold. It was New Hampshire, right? So, like, we're up there. It was like 30 degrees on Friday night.
Oof.
So it was rough. But Saturday was like a movie. Like, it was a perfect fall day.
Nice. Those are the
So
best ones too.
It made up for it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it dropped to 20 overnight on Saturday to Sunday. It was pretty rough. But during the day, it was gorgeous. So anyway, that is my LARPing with my kids story. I may have more of those. Although it is now the off season, which my middle son was like, "Dad, when's the next game?" And I was like, "March, maybe April." And he went, and I'm like, "Sorry, man.
Long way away.
It
Sorry
is a
about
long way.
how about that off season?" Which those of us who have been playing for a long time are used to it in the Northeast. That's just what you do. You play in the spring, you take the summer off, you play in the fall, you take the winter off, and the cycle repeats itself unto infinity. And he was like, "Oh man, so I showed up for the last one, and now I gotta wait." It's like, well,
Yep.
dude, you were
That's
born
what had to
on
happen.
October. You were born October 29th. What are we gonna do?
Hey, tell him we can come train in my yard. We can come beat each other with foam
Oh.
weapons and
I hate to
practice.
tell you, we already volunteered your yard for all sorts of practice activities.
Oh, good. We got
It's
all the spots.
understandable, though. It's a
Just
great
watch out for the
yard.
bramble. That's my only caution. Just watch out for the poison ivy and the bramble.
Oh, yeah, we won't do that. I was gonna use your living room.
Wouldn't be the
Just like,
first
wow.
time.
It would definitely not be the first time with people doing that stuff. All right, so, okay, let's go to the video game release calendar, everybody, because this next week is kind of stacked. I don't know if anybody has paid attention to the release calendar, but there's a lot of games.
It's a
coming out.
lot.
It's quite the list.
So yeah, there's a lot coming out. So I'm just gonna fly through some of it. First, Return to Monkey Island is coming to things that are not the Switch and the PC. So PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. That's coming on November 8th. What do you? Has anybody else, has anybody played the PC Switch version of that? Anybody in here?
I haven't. I haven't had time for it, but now that it's
Yeah.
coming to Game Pass, seems kind of attractive.
Yep, because it's coming. That's the other piece. It's coming to Game Pass. So if you have an Xbox, it costs $0. I think we're approaching the point, Linda, that now that you guys have a PlayStation 5, I think the next step is an Xbox so you can take advantage of Game Pass and just get. I believe an Xbox and Game Pass will pay for itself in games for your family over the life of the console. Like, I'm not even joking.
This is correct.
There's a website you use called Aniba where you could buy like I think it was $26 for 3 months.
Yeah,
and you just
Game Pass.
buy like 4 of those, and it's $100 a year.
We'll talk all about it, Linda. Talk all
All right.
about it. We'll get you.
You will fill me all in.
Of course, I think that's where we're getting. I think that's where we're getting to next. So that's Return to Monkey Island. That's November 8th. Also November 8th, Sonic Frontiers. Now, I will say this: I do not like Sonic the Hedgehog games. I'm famous. My famous is not the right word. I am well documented in my distaste for Sonic games. But Sonic Frontiers looks kind of cool.
It looks interesting. I've never really been much of a Sonic player myself either, so I get it.
Yeah. There's something about the 3D space and the fact that what it is it's like, it feels like speedrun Legend of Zelda the game, because it's all about just movement tricks and going real fast. I was listening to one reviewer, not reviewer because it's not, review copies are not out yet, or maybe they're out and whatever, I don't know. A preview build was released, and they did a bunch of coverage. Someone described it as like a Tony Hawk game, because it's really all about like combos and moving around the environment and stuff like that, and that sounded interesting to me. And like, if that's what it turns into, where it's like you start and the whole goal is to level up your speed so that you can go faster, and it goes from 1 to 99, and they're like 10 feels super fast. That to me sounds like a really cool exploration of like world design, because like, how do you make places that are playable at 99 speed but also 1? So like, that part of me is like, I'm very curious how you do that. So that is coming up very soon. It's coming out on the 8th. But I don't know that I'm going to get it right away, because the next day is one for the grown-ups, and that's God of War Ragnarok. Now, this is a sequel to God of War 19, or not 2018.
Yeah.
2018, I think. Doesn't matter. Time's a flat circle. Now, what everybody needs to do is you need to go. I'm gonna, Thomason, could you go get the commercial from today? Because they had a commercial today with Ben Stiller, LeBron James, and John Travolta in it. Oh man!
Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
Amanda, you didn't see this? Oh my god!
So, no, I'm not chronically.
I'm
not chronically online anymore.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so Ben Stiller is dressed as Kratos, and
my goodness!
And he's running a therapy session, like a parenting therapy session, with LeBron James and his son Bronny, and then John Travolta is just taking notes.
Wow.
As one does.
And it's really funny, because first of all, Ben Stiller dresses Kratos with the Leviathan axe is amazing. Tomlinson, if you could grab that and throw it in the chat for everybody.
Almost there.
Like, this is not what it's supposed to be. Hold on just a moment. Hey guys, I'm on a live mic. Teenagers, am I right? So, yes. This game, you know what? You can't share it because, let me make you a moderator. Because it's blocking.
Hold on, I'll drop it in the chat. Hey, we could try using that, activities thing.
No, I don't want to watch it. I'm just going to link it. People can watch it on their own time. Don't mind me, everybody. I'm messing up the view. So I know I can put links. All right, so this commercial, you have to see it. This game is we don't know exactly how it's going to be, but even if it is just more of the 2018 game, it's one of the best games of the generation. God of War 2018 was immaculate. So even if this is just more of that with no improvements, it's going to be great. I can't imagine that there will be no improvements, because that's not how video games work.
No, can't imagine. It was such an amazing one, at least watching it, because I got to watch many hours play.
I've seen some leaked screenshots, and the leaked screenshots sure do look real pretty. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not gonna have much time for Sonic Frontiers ahead of that one. And I know it's not EFG related content, but y'all forgive me. It's God of War Ragnarok. Um, the next day is Vampire Survivors, which is coming to Xbox and basically all the Xbox consoles via Game Pass. Now, this is a PC game that has like quietly been taking over the entire world. This is like
It
this year's
is
Among Us.
it is
Really?
incredible. There are
Amanda,
no
tell us about it.
words. There are no words to describe how much fun this game is. So I tried it out for the first time when I was in Canada. And again, it was a Steam Deck game, but it was the first game I played on the Steam Deck, in my defense. So my husband had been talking about it, and he's like, "Honey, you got to try this. This Vampire Survivors game. You know, it was designed by a guy who used to work with slot machines.
Mhm.
So he's like taking that kind of like dopamine experience and putting it into a game." And but it's not like a free to play game or anything like that. It's not exploitative, but
Mhm.
it's really difficult to describe. It's like you wander around, you get level ups, you get items.
I'll
Those
try.
items beget other items, and you just kind of murder more and more and more monsters
I
Wow.
this
until
is
you
a
completely destroy an entire level.
so this
Wow.
feels like old school Gauntlet
Yeah.
with like 50 times the enemies.
Yes, exactly. Like
But
the
with a
reason why they just went into the 1.0 release, they were in like they were in an early access release before. And this new release makes it so that your system does not slow down, or like the graphics don't just randomly start slowing down when you have too many enemies on the screen, because that's the thing. These hordes get bigger and bigger and meaner, and they are trying to murder you. That's why you got to take them down first. You have to have the biggest, baddest upgrades for your weapons.
Wow.
yeah, and this is
Anyway,
it's all
Vampire Survivors is really good.
it's all pixel art. It's it's got like an upgrade system that's not unlike a clicker game,
Yes.
meaning it just gets really stupid.
Wow, my love.
In that like everything's multiplicative. You've got you're throwing out like hundreds of bullets,
That's
and
wild.
the attack animations for some of the weapons are like across the entire screen. You're fighting thousands of enemies. It's almost like if Gauntlet and Dynasty Warrior became a roguelike. Did I just ruin it?
Stop trying to be a ruiner.
It's not my. It's also $5 on Steam right now.
Anyway,
and
game's
gonna
great,
be
and
on
it's not a
Game Pass.
Muso game.
I didn't say it was a Muso game, but it is one versus many. God, don't be such a hater. Anyway, so that's Vampire Survivor.
Don't be
That's
such
coming
a
to
hater.
That's coming to Game Pass on November 10th, and I think this is one. And frankly, even if you don't have Game Pass, go grab this on Steam. It'll play
Honestly,
on,
it's such a
play on
great
anything,
game.
and it's $5. Or watch a YouTube video. Watching YouTube videos, by the way, totally free.
It's true.
So, next, how about this Atari 50 the Anniversary Collection? Have you guys read about this?
I've done
No.
exactly zero reading about it.
This is not just a collection of Atari games. This is kind of like NES Remix with Atari games.
Really?
Like, not exactly the same, but it's pretty close, where this is not just, oh, it's Pitfall. It's not that. Everyone in this chat just knows exactly, well, except maybe Linda, but 3 of the 4 of us know exactly what I just, like, I made that noise, and we all saw the little dude, like, run and jump and swing on a vine. Like, we all
Yeah.
saw it.
We all saw it in our brains. It's true.
It's not like that exactly, because there's other stuff going on. There's like a meta game. There's other stuff. Like they did what you should do with a collection of really, really old, completely unplayable by modern standard video games. So this thing is really cool. I'm waiting for a sale on this one. Or really quietly, I'm just waiting for them to put it on Game Pass, and then I will talk about it, because I think this is one of those games that, if it's well implemented, it's one of those, this could end up on essentials lists and stuff like that, because it looks really cool and the concept sounds awesome. Next is Tactics Ogre Reborn, which I am playing this winter.
It's on my personal list. I need to play it, but I have no time right now,
Yeah, I
except
mean,
for
this is
Potionomics.
long turn-based role-playing game, but like, there's just something about it. I can't wait. And lastly, November 15th, Smurfs Cart coming to Switch. Everybody, game of the year? No.
I don't
Does
know.
anybody
I
have
mean,
an opinion?
maybe.
Anyone have an opinion on Smurfs Cart?
You can play until you're blue in the face.
Oh man.
Oh, we love
Nice.
it.
Well
That's
done.
beautiful.
You could
That's
play until you're blue in
beautiful.
the face. Anyway,
I love kart
we
racers, man.
I
Kart
do love
racers are awesome.
I
More
do
kart
love a
racers is better.
I do love a good kart racer. It is what's really wild is, you know what game just didn't, and we'll talk about it next episode. You know what game didn't make the cutoff? Pokemans, which is coming out November 18th. So we're gonna be talking about that one at the next
Pokemans.
episode.
All right.
We'll be talking about that on the next episode when we get to work. So next, I have 2 board game Kickstarters, and I definitely want to hear opinions on this one. First, Amanda,
Okay.
what if I told you there was a Slay the Spire board game on Kickstarter right now? Did I just spend some
Go
of your
on.
money? It's
Stop pre-spending my money for me. I spend my own money quite well, thank you.
Yeah, but it's one of the reasons we're friends, because it's not like you haven't spent a bunch.
No,
of my
it's
money.
true. It's true. It's true. I like that's the thing is like we influence each other's spending.
Yeah, it's like we're the.
Hey, Steve, you heard about this thing? No, and I'm mad at you for telling me because now I have to buy it.
Could you have told me on payday? Thanks. Could you have waited until I got a new job? Thanks. I mean,
My bad.
Anyway, so I'm gonna let me grab the link. We'll throw it in the chat here. So we know Slay the Spire, one of Amanda's favorite games of like the last bunch of years.
True.
It is a roguelike deck building game. This is a deck building game. It's Slay the Spire, but with real cards. Looks like I have not played it myself. I'm sure that Linda and I will see it at PAX Unplugged at the end of the year. And we'll see like a demo version, but it
That
looks
would be
like
very
a really
cool to see.
clever interpretation of the game. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a deck builder. That does not really surprise me. Now, here's this next one, and I want everybody's opinions on this. We're gonna go around the horn. What do you guys think about a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition advent calendar, wherein every day you open a new part of the adventure, including miniatures and etc.? What is that? Does that sound cool?
That sparked joy.
That
Does that-
sounds really cool. I'm
Yeah.
Mega Mom in the chat.
scrolling down, like, how much money are they getting from me, possibly?
The Kickstarter for the full set is $100, which is not free. I agree. However,
Mhm.
I mean, most game related advent calendars. I mean, I paid like $40 for my Funko Pop advent
Right.
calendar that we got last year, and this one is a full on game, and you get to keep the miniatures. So I don't know. I mean,
That's really cool.
so this one is it's a year in the making. So this is one of those, if you back it now, you get it next year, because obviously they have to produce it and all that. But I think it's really smart. You know, every day you open up a new
Yeah.
monster, you're fighting Krampus and
That's pretty
and a
cool.
were yeti and an ice skeleton and stuff like that. I just think it looks pretty rad. So
Okay, I'm gonna be saving this one to come back and check it out more.
yeah, that is it is on the list. Yeah, I'll be checking that one also. Taking
Yes.
a look. So those are our 2 Kickstarters. What do you? Well, first off, Tomlinson, do you think that sounds cool? I mean, I know that's not necessarily your jam, but like, what do you think? You think that's a neat concept or what?
I really like the advent calendar. That's pretty nice. After you sold me on the Play-Doh board game, I can't afford this right now.
Oh, I mean, trust me.
What?
Listen, we got you. We got you hooked up on Necromolds, and you gotta.
Yeah,
you gotta be a
Necromolds. Oh,
Yeah, you gotta be a responsible adult. I get it.
yeah. And I saw the ad for the Slay the Spire one. a while back. So
Yeah, this one they've been prepping for the launch for a while, and so
yeah,
it's out now. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Mega Mom saying she loves the concept in general. That'd be a great way for a DM to tease a new campaign for their players. That slow reveal would be so much fun. Yeah, basically that's what it is. It's just you got a new thing that you got to deal with every day. Apparently the game is built to be played in like really small pieces over the course of those 25 days. I think my only concern is that for families like mine that struggle with executive function, it would end up being like we would open it slowly over the course of 25 days and then play it all at once. And I don't know if it's designed for that. Like, if there's
Right.
supposed to be a
That's one of the
surprise
things I
reveal
was,
on the 13th,
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's one of the pieces I want to look at because realistically, I know how busy December gets for us. And it's like, I don't know if we would have time. I want to see what the investment is per day and kind of, is that going to fit our dynamic?
also
Exactly.
whether or not it needs a GM because I can't get to your house every day.
It's true.
I mean, I love you guys, but you don't want me at your house every day in December. I get it. You need some privacy.
Just a little bit, not much.
Just a little. You don't need me around all the time. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some news. Dude, did you guys know Fortnite is still actually happening?
Is
yeah.
it really?
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, Fortnite is not only Fortnite. Here's what's really interesting about Fortnite, and Amanda will confirm, I'm sure. Fortnite is so big, so successful for so long that it's the NFL. Like you just don't think about it anymore, but like there's still millions of heads playing that game every day.
Wow.
That's correct.
That's amazing to me.
It's just at this point.
It's like Pokemon Go. You don't
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
You know, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people are playing that game.
Yep.
Wow.
Can be rest assured.
And there are lots more people playing it than talk about it. And I think that's the other thing, right? Like there are a lot of people that watch Major League Baseball but don't talk about it. It's not like their entire personality. It's just that thing they do. They play it. They like their team. They go crazy. Maybe they wear a hat every once in a while. You know what I mean?
I
is
played it a
Fortnite.
couple times this year, and it's totally different game than when it came out. Like
Yeah.
it feels more fun, more fluid. You're in and out of the games faster.
Yeah.
Really?
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Well, and they have the one thing that really reinvigorated it recently was their no build mode, which really brought a lot of people back
that
who
was-
just want to play it.
Yeah.
So
Night day.
it's a lot of the old folk that don't want to build that do that. So there's a bunch of stuff happening this week. So there's collaborations with Ralph Lauren Polo, which I can't believe I actually am saying out loud. That one's starting Saturday, November 5th at 8 p.m. So that's next week. There's basically going to be a set and a gathering tool that is a polo mallet. One of those. Do they call them mallets? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Then there's an EXP thing to get Pickle Rick if you're one of those people. If you are, I cool. I'm not. But you can. There's going to be some quests that they're going to drop over the next week where you can unlock a Pickle Rick back bling. If you don't know what a back bling is, it's a decoration for your back. And it's Skywalker week. So for the next week, would you believe it? I didn't realize this. Luke Skywalker has never been in Fortnite yet.
Nope.
Interesting.
Vader was, right?
Vader was,
Yes.
and
Vader
so
was.
was Finn and Rey and like stuff like that. But they haven't gone back to like as part of this.
Yeah, they
event,
didn't do original trilogy.
Yeah, so as part of this event is Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo, as well as new colored lightsabers, multiple outfits for each of the characters based on their appearances in the different movies,
Wow.
like all sorts of different gliders. It's just amazing. And so, it's Skywalker week. So if you're listening live now and you play Fortnite and you like the Star Wars, go get the Star Wars because they're in there. It's just so wild to me. Like I saw the announcement and I was like, oh, so they're re-releasing all the Star Wars stuff. And then I actually read it and I was like, wait a minute, they're capital R releasing the Star Wars stuff because these are brand new. Shame on them for not putting Princess Leia in before this. Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, who cares? But shame on them for not
But
putting
Leia? Come on.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Shame on them for not putting Leia in. Her three outfits are her like princess it's not. There is no slave Leia outfit. I just want to make that very clear.
Good.
She's fully clothed in all three. Two of them are. Remember when she rescued Han Solo? She infiltrated the Hutt Palace or whatever. One of them is that outfit with the weird helmet thing, and that outfit without the weird helmet thing. And so I think that, some people might, saw some people online being like, that's basically the same skin. And I'm like, no, it's not, because it doesn't have that weird helmet. And I think the one without the helmet actually looks really cool. And the other one is the white dress from the very beginning of the movie with the buns and everything.
Her iconic look.
You see it, you know what the heck it is. I don't know how to describe it. Iconic look is probably the right one. But no slave Leia outfits. If you're one of those people, just please, it's Fortnite, guys.
Just grow up, yeah.
It's how weird is that though? I still can't believe that Fortnite, and at this point, it's never going away. It's so big, it's just unstoppable. Speaking of things that are never going to go away, let's talk about Marvel for a second. Man, a big news beat yesterday. Did it send? I mean, it sent shockwaves at my house. Did it send shockwaves with you guys or what?
No, we're behind. We're behind.
Right.
Yesterday was very dedicated to like getting the kids where they needed to be. So we've had no time. We watched The Thing last night, and that's basically the only grown-up thing we did. Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean,
yeah. So the menfolk had never seen The Thing, so I was like, obviously, I've seen it.
Obvi.
But I haven't seen any of it yet. I'm behind.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get you caught up. I got you. By the way, Season of the Sea Witch saying that she's Stanikin's Anakin.
Yeah, she's an Anakin stan. It's a long story.
She's been spending way too much time with you, Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Way too much time.
I'm not an Anakin stan. I'm the opposite.
I'm talking about the Stanikin Anakin.
Yeah.
Like the bad like alliteration thing. That's your influence. And
Maybe.
we might have to put a stop to that. I don't know if we can allow you to taint her like that anymore. So Marvel is making partnership. The big way they're doing games is rather than having their own dedicated studios like they did before and making games that flop, they are partnering with other studios to make their games. And so a lot of the negotiations and all that are behind the scenes, which is great. But they announced a 3-game partnership with Electronic Arts to make 3 action-adventure games. The first one, which was announced and is in development, is Iron Man. Word on the street is that it's going to utilize some of the design philosophies behind, I forgot, the Iron Man game.
Anthem.
Anthem. Which makes sense.
Sorry, Amanda.
Every time we mention Anthem, Amanda goes, but listen, we're going to get Anthem. We're just going to
We're getting
I get
what
so
Anthem could have been.
Sad. I get so sad every time we talk about Anthem, and I didn't get Anthem, like the next generation of Anthem, because, EA was like, look, y'all, it's a big money sink. And I was like, but what if? What if we did it right?
Listen,
there's so much to love about that game, guys.
Can you imagine the variant universe where Anthem came out and was like the game of the year, and we're like still playing Anthem, and Amanda has like
all I want.
That's all you want. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it, but
you'll get it.
Okay,
but it's gonna have the Iron Man skin. Yeah, it's gonna have the Iron Man skin that eventually it was gonna get. So it's close enough.
Fine.
It's all you're getting. I can't stop it. So we've got Iron Man. The other thing, and they announced this at D23 over the summer, I'm actually more excited about this, is a action-adventure game. Linda, I want to know what you have to say about this. It's an action-adventure game featuring Captain America, the grandfather of the Black Panther, because this is set during World War II. So a young Captain
that sounds
America,
cool.
the grandfather of the Black Panther, as well as a couple other characters.
Captain America and another one of the what's Captain America? Well, Dormalaji, and then another one of the Captain America's friends.
Yeah, what's his name? He was in He was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But
another
I forget
spy.
His name. And so this is that has me really excited because I love.
Yeah, that sounds very cool.
I love the idea of kind of exploring that kind of era with that era of Captain America. Is just could be super cool. Who doesn't want a Black Panther game? I certainly want a Black Panther game.
Black Panther game sounds really good.
It does sound
Especially
really fun.
considering like their advanced tech back in the 40s. Like, man, it's gonna be even cooler. But there's a third one that we don't know what it is yet. So we have no idea. They said that it's unannounced, but we do know it is an action adventure game. So I wanted to poll the group, and I'd love to hear the audience say it too. Which Marvel superhero do you want? Not do you think it's going to be? Which Marvel superhero do you want that third game to be? Thomas, I'm going to go with you first because you've been quiet.
I have a joke answer and I have a real answer.
Okay, give your joke
answer. Howard the Duck. The real answer.
Okay, let's real talk though.
Because I gotta win him back. Hold on.
Okay,
I gotta win Steve back specifically.
I'm not mad about Howard the Duck, by the way. I just don't want it to
Oh
be
my
made
god!
by EA.
Now
Go
I'm
ahead.
dreaming about it.
You're welcome.
That's hysterical.
Now the win for Steve is a Vision and the New Avengers with the Young Avengers, and he's training them. It's very much Gotham Knights and Batman.
I'd play that.
Yeah,
I would
all
absolutely.
the
I mean, we all
Gotham
know I would play a Vision game.
Yeah,
and we got two people in the chat saying, although one of them's probably biased. So
yeah,
but
they're both biased. They both know me.
Howard the Duck, yeah, Howard the Duck. Oh, Mega Mom in the chat saying she'd love a Rocket and Groot like a buddy cop game. I'd be down with that. Okay, so I am down with a Vision game in any shape or form. By the way, the new Vision Quest show. Did you see that, Amanda? They're making a Vision show called Vision Quest.
I did see that. See that.
My friend Marie, who I was at LARP with, knew about the Vision show for a whole 24 hours before I found out. And she didn't tell me. Canceled. I was going to go on Twitter. Get her canceled. Anyway, Amanda, who do you want to see?
Okay. So I would love to see a Black Widow game.
Yeah,
it's set in a very Splinter Cell kind of environment.
This is a winner.
Right?
That was the second choice that I had for a character. That was my second
Splinter Cell
choice.
Black Widow game, A+.
Splinter Cell Black Widow game, but not Natasha Yelena.
Yep. You want Yelena?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we got to hype Yelena up.
We got to hype Yelena up. I love her. She's my vest girl. I love her.
Her and Hawkeye, oh my god. Like, I can't wait to rewatch Hawkeye just for her.
It's now a Christmas show, so you have to watch it.
There you go. It's just now become a tradition.
It's now a tradition.
Linda, what about you? I want to know. I've been
Hands
curious
down.
what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because
We love
that can
That
go
was my backup.
so many different directions because she's so versatile.
Yeah. She's galaxy wide.
Yeah.
I just want to fly.
So you can
in
literally
space.
set it anywhere. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Universal wide. Yeah.
The yeah, man. Oh man, I love that. I want to just fly around in space, just punch spaceships. Okay, I'm surprised. I have mine, and I'm surprised that nobody else stole it first. Hawkeye. Like, listen.
Okay.
We've had our share of bow and arrow video games, but like, Crisis was the bomb, man. You know what I mean?
That is true.
And so
that is true, but doesn't run on Switch.
Well, I mean, of course it doesn't. It's Crisis.
No, but Crisis 2 and 3 is on Switch, but not the original.
I know.
Just letting you know. I'm just being an ass. I'm sorry.
Oh, Season of the Witch, anything X-Men. Listen, you know what? I
Well
play a
played.
Cyclops game. We all know that. But you know what's weird is like I forget that X-Men are Marvel just because of the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going. But listen, Hawkeye, and it can either be the OG Hawkeye or the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. I'm fine with either one or both. Let us switch back and forth. I don't care. But
that's how we got Spider-Man and Miles.
Yeah. So, but the idea of having a, just have them go to cool places and fight crazy dudes with funky arrows, among other spy gadgets, it really is just like we like Tomb Raider with a bow. I mean, why couldn't we use this? And Crisis is a really good example of a sci-fi high impact action game with a
True.
dude whose primary attack is a bow and arrow. And if
True.
Crisis is great, lots of infiltration, sniping, all sorts of stuff. So for me, that's what I want to see. I would love to see a Hawkeye game.
That sounds cool.
It's certainly marketable. People like Hawkeye. I mean, X number of years ago wouldn't have been possible, but now, like, if we can have Rocket and Groot on, getting their own, if we can have people wishing for a Rocket and Groot game, I think Hawkeye's possible.
I think you're right.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too. I like it. I'm glad that you guys think I'm right. It doesn't happen in this group very often that people think I'm right. Hey, who wants to feel old today?
I feel old every day.
30 years ago yesterday. 30 yesterday.
Okay.
X-Men the Animated Series.
I love that show.
Which is about to be sequelized.
Well, not even rebooted. It's a sequel.
No,
The
yeah,
series
yeah.
is
It's a sequel?
It's
Yeah,
a
the one
sequel.
on
It's
Disney
a
Plus
following
next
up.
year.
Yeah.
Following
It's
the
gonna be
art
amazing.
style. The animation
With
is
the
gonna be,
theme song, everything. Yeah.
Well, we know the themes, and we also know that theme song is going to be the theme for the X-Men and the MCU, also just like extra rad, because they keep playing.
It's shown up twice.
Yeah, it's shown up twice.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
It's in Captain Marvel and it's in it's in Miss Marvel and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I guess spoilers, but it's just the theme. It'll be fine. It's just the theme. So, yeah, man, I keep forgetting about the X-Men as being like associated. It's almost like they're their own thing and they're not Marvel. But that cartoon was so impactful. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love Cyclops as much as I do, because of that character design, and that character is just so cool. And so yeah, I can't wait for the new cartoon. And yeah, it was 30 years ago, so I was 12 when it came out. Which really, if you think about it, that was like prime time for me to really want to watch a superhero cartoon, and it was so cool and really delved into some really deep topics, which you wouldn't expect like a Saturday morning cartoon to do. And man,
yeah.
So that's our "Do you feel old" moment.
I was just talking about this show the other day, and I was like, man, I love that show.
So good, right?
Next year.
Oh, it's so good, and next year we get it again.
Written so well. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
And right now it's all available on Disney Plus.
And it is available on Disney Plus. So guys, we did it. We made it.
We did.
Yay.
Episode 291 is in the books. Everybody, I am grateful for you watching. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed recording. I will be back next week with a stream, playing something. I'm not prepping for a LARP next week. So I will be streaming something, probably something very fun. I'm hoping. I don't know. We'll come up with something. And then the week after that, we will likely be talking a whole lot about Pokemon, because we will probably have a whole bunch more information about that one. So everybody, I hope you have a great night. We will talk to you soon. And until next time, don't forget, you get your family game on. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Season of the Sea Witch. Bye.
Bye.